Hello everybody, my name is Johan and this is episode 6 of the Wild Eye Diaries. I've thoroughly enjoyed being back in the office this week. As some of you might or might not know, I'm based in Nelspruit, where I run a little satellite office for us there, and then try and get into the office at least once a month to catch up with meetings as well as planned safaris, which at the moment we're doing well into 2019 and 2020. So for this episode of the Wild Eye Diaries, I chat to Marlon regarding the recent Serengeti safari that him and I hosted together. I grab a cup of coffee with Lara to find out what her involvement is in the Wild Eye team and possible challenges that she could face. We get an update in the field from Gerry, who's hosting a private guided safari, and then also the weekly updates from the guides. To start off, here's the trip report on the recent Serengeti safari that Marlon and I hosted together. Hi guys, so I'm here with Marlon, and as you probably know, Marlon and I hosted the Serengeti trip together a couple of weeks ago. Marlon, first of all, how's it going?
Very good, it's going really well. Nice and busy, but enjoying it. It's good to be back in the office for a little bit. It's been a very hectic year with regards to travel, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. So Serengeti, let's start off. How did you enjoy it this year? Talk us through the itinerary.
Serengeti is always something that I enjoy. It's my 8th or 9th visit to Tanzania as a country, my 4th or 5th time with Wild Eye, and it's a place that I always enjoy visiting. And for good reason, as you'll see in the trip reports and as we discuss through this interview. But yeah, I had a fantastic time. Probably one of the top 2 visits of all of them that I've been to the Serengeti. And a lot of incredible sightings, great highlights, fantastic guests, all around. Just every detail went smooth, which that alone is a battle won. So yeah, all good.
Absolutely. I think there's a special feeling from the minute you land at Kili and you drive through the villages. We started off at Serengeti this year, which was a first. What was your initial impression just arriving at Serengeti? What were your thoughts? It's obviously, as I mentioned, a new part that we added to this trip. So
yeah, Serengeti is great. We've always been looking at something a little bit different. So Serengeti represented that. It's a 3 or 4 hour drive from the airstrip. Instead of driving too far up into the crater or in Ndutu, which is pretty much a full day's drive, it's nice to break it up a little bit. And Serengeti it's a special park. It's very beautiful. A lot more game than I anticipated. I mean, how all the elephants have we got to see?
I don't think I've seen so many elephants together in a long time.
Yeah, I think the only place that rivals that would maybe be maybe Chobe or Wangi, but a sensational amount of elephants as well.
Yeah.
And then from there, Moru.
Yeah, Moru was unbelievable. I think just from last year was the first time that I went there personally, and it blew me away, just the diversity, and this year was no different. I mean, the first day we got in there getting lions on the koppies was unbelievable. And again, this year lots of good sightings, lions on rocks, a couple of leopard sightings close by. So very unique area, and if you're looking for that shot with the lions on the koppies, I mean that's one of the best places to get in.
Absolutely, and so yeah, we spent 4 nights in Moru, 3 or 4 nights, and then went on to Ndutu, which is always a great safari destination. Ndutu in itself is just north of the Ngorongoro crater, and an incredible amount of predators, especially lion and cheetah. And it's the traditional birthplace of the great migration, the migratory wildebeest herds, due to the nourished soils and therefore the very good nutrition for the calves when they're very young. And we had an incredible time. A lot of male lion action, how all the male lions around camp all the time.
And I think what was great this year is we spent a lot of full days out on safari. So all the guests that joined us here on the trip have been with us on numerous other safaris. So the great thing for us is spending full days out there, and I think we eventually reaped the rewards from that. You know, we took packed lunches and packed breakfast with us, spent the whole day out, and that allowed us to really work sightings and stay with it for as long as possible. And as you guys know, I mean, the longer you spend time with animals, the more you're gonna see. The camps in both Moru and Ndutu, how would you sort of describe them to people that haven't been there before?
I mean, they're great tented camps. The our kind of accommodation keeps getting better. It's a company called Masai Wanderings. We've been working with them from the start, just trying to and help them as well develop what they're doing. We've been there with our camp in the Mara, getting that up to scratch and to a high level. And but the accommodations become better. The food is really become a lot better. I think the staff, we keep seeing the faces over and over again. The same staff, familiar faces. It's always great to connect with people like that. They know what you enjoy and what you expect from a safari, and it makes it a lot easier, I think. So the camps this time around was definitely the best that it's been, and it's great to see the progression, that they're getting better and better. Johan's getting wet, by the way. I'm just under the roof, Johan's just on the other side of the roof there.
And I think for me, what I love about those camps, I mean, it hasn't got the luxury that you have in South Africa probably, but they've got the small things they've got right. So in the morning, sitting around the campfire, having a cup of coffee. The location of the camps are phenomenal. I mean, due to being on the marsh there. So I think it's the small things that they really get right. And as you said, it's got a very warm, hospitable feel to it. And then from Ndutu then to the crater, that's probably one of my favorite drives. As you go through the little Maasai villages, and you can actually see the transition from the Serengeti as you get to wildebeest and zebras to then seeing local people, the Maasai people in the village, donkeys, and it's an amazing drive. And then getting up the top of that ridge of the crater is always phenomenal.
It is. So it's a special place to visit. The Ngorongoro crater, I always talk about it fondly, and it's difficult to describe in words. You can't quite capture it in images. Once you get up to the top of that rim and you look down from the top, when we arrived it was quite cloudy, so there's a very big sense of mystique about it, to see this beautiful crater floor with cloud cover above, a little bit of rain, kind of like now, so reminiscent of the day. But even though having seen it many times before, for that first sighting of getting there and seeing it and taking it in, it's actually very overwhelming for people, and several of the guests ended up in tears as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of good sightings in the crater. We had those male lions, some mating action in the crater, and just the amount of general game that you see. You hardly ever drive for more than a couple of minutes without seeing something.
Well, you can see rim to rim, so you got a great view. And I think we always try and we got a day and a half in the crater on the itinerary, which is enough. I think it's a good time. But we try and maximize it by not harping on one sighting for too long. So just driving around, seeing the crater, exploring a bit. And I think we had 38 or 39 individual lion sightings, or saw 39 individual lions on the crater floor out of about 60 lions. So we had a very good time once again. It was just sensational.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know it's always very difficult in a trip, but if you can think of maybe 2 or 3 photographic highlights for you.
I think for me it was more the experiences, but I think for the guests, for me, experience-wise, sitting with a couple of elephants, seeing the 2 particular elephant cows with really large tusks, that was amazing to see. That certainly was a standout highlight for me. But I think for some of the guests, cheetahs. We had a great sighting of a cheetah, a coalition of cheetahs, 2 male cheetahs. They were hunting, they were scent marking, they were climbing trees, they were playing. So it was such a diverse sighting. It's almost like 3 or 4 sightings squeezed into one. In the rain, shaking their coats, and I think a couple of the lions on the rocks were very special. And for yourself?
I'd have to agree. I mean, the lions and the koppies is always something special, and it's one of the reasons why we booked Moru koppies on this particular trip. And leopard with the cub, I think the reaction we got from the guests, the excitement they showed was truly spectacular. But I think, I'd probably say the same. Also the cheetahs in the rain. But I mean, overall, like 101 lions in total. I haven't been able to go through all the images even yet. It was just so many highlights. Talk to me, 2019. The dates are out. What changes are there on next year's trip compared to this year?
Look, guys, it's going to be awesome. That's all I can say. It's going to be a phenomenal safari. Every time we visit the Serengeti, and you've been with a few times now, and you'll know from your experience, but every visit that I've done to the Serengeti has blown me away. I think it is that quintessential African safari experience. It's everything you want, and it's so much more diverse than what people think. I'll get into the itinerary now, but if you think of the Serengeti, many people think open plains, but you got the vast open short grass plains, you got long grass plains, you've got hills, you have koppies, you have woodlands, you have marshes, you have lakes, you've got the crater, you have cultural diversity, you've got so many aspects to the safari and to your images. No one image or scene is ever the same, and I think that's a surprising thing for people visiting the Serengeti. They don't expect that. They think purely open grass plains with a tree every now and again, when it is so much more than that. And the trip for next year, the changes that we're changing or bringing about?
So yeah, very exciting changes. I think we both enjoyed Serengeti so much. It was a nice break in between the sort of drives. So we're starting off again one night in Serengeti, and then instead of finishing off at Ngorongoro Crater, we're going to start off with the Ngorongoro Crater for 2 nights.
And we're going to speak faster because we're getting very wet. But yeah, it's a couple of nights at the crater, just from continuity.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot for it. But to do the crater second is great, so you don't have to come all the way back down again.
Yeah. And then, correct me if I'm right, we're doing Duty for 5 nights? I don't know, we've just been speaking about this the last week.
5 nights and then 4 nights in Namiri Plains, which is, it's new but it's not new. It's just a little bit further to the east of where we have been safaring around Moru and Serenera. You move from there further east, and it's incredible open plains, still with koppies. So you have koppies, open grass plains, and probably the densest cheetah population. It's a new area. It's only recently been open to public camps. Because it was considered as a area where cheetah reproduced very successfully. They were monitored by researchers, and it was never an area open to the public. So that certainly is going to be a special event. I'd like to keep on talking so Johan gets wetter and wetter, because I'm quite enjoying this.
Yeah. Anyways, this trip report is on the website?
It's on the website. It's fantastic images. It's got a lot of video content in there as well, and some guest testimonials.
Yeah.
And then in the next week or two we'll also publish and bring out the guest report. They've taken a bit of time. A lot of them take over 10,000 images, so they're taking a little bit longer to get through them, but we'll be sharing that live within the next 2 weeks as well.
Awesome. Marlon, thank you so much. I look forward to it again next year.
Absolutely, and hopefully you guys can join us. Make it another incredible safari experience in South Africa.
Get in touch and let's make it happen.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. As you guys can see, an incredible safari, a lot of diversity, and if you're into the big cats, this is definitely a safari that should be on your bucket list. As we mentioned, the dates for 2019 is on the website, and the trip report is also under our blog, so go check it out. Next up, I grab a cup of coffee with Lara to discuss her involvement in the Wild Eye team and possible challenges that she faces. Alright guys, so I've managed to drag Lara out of the office, which is not easy. She is a very busy lady. Lara, first of all, how's it going?
Fine, thanks. How are
Good.
you, Johan?
Very good. Happy it's Friday?
Yes, very happy.
Absolutely, I think we all are. To start off, Lara, so you are operations manager
Thank you.
for Wild Eye.
Thanks.
For those people that don't know, what does that entail?
I'm the person that's operations from all sorts of things, from the back office to the front office, if that makes any sense to anybody that knows anything about safaris and hotels. And I am the person that makes sure that the guides have travel insurance when they travel.
Very important.
Exactly, very important. I'm the person that makes sure that their salaries get paid.
Very important.
I'm also the person that makes sure that any background details in the office, you know, making sure the office runs smoothly when the guys are away, making sure that the team that is in the office is happy. I'm the person normally that buys the milk and the coffee.
Yes.
There's things that are very important to the running of an office, and in our office it's coffee.
Yeah.
Making sure that there's water in the water machine, making sure that then it goes right into the whole safari planning. So I sit down with the guides, help them plan their safaris, make sure that it works in their diaries, make sure it works with the Wild Eye Diary.
Yeah.
A Wild Eye Diary is all 14 people
Yes.
that are associated with our office.
Fantastic.
So we do a lot of planning, strategies, making sure that those safaris are then costed,
Yeah.
and then put onto the website. I fortunately have nothing to do with putting it onto the website, but I do then present it to the directors to make sure that they are happy with the cost, and we then put it onto the website so the schedule is then is available to be booked.
Yeah.
I also look at from a totally general travel perspective. I help Tanya, so we come up with ideas for people. Where should they go on honeymoon? Where shouldn't they go on honeymoon?
Absolutely.
I've traveled extensively in Africa and around the world, so for me
that helps.
That I love that. That's
Absolutely.
my favorite thing, is to help with a trip that specifically people haven't been to Africa.
Yeah.
So where are the best things? What are the best times to go to places? Is it a good idea to go to Victoria Falls in November?
Yeah.
Not really. Let's
Exactly.
go in May.
Yeah.
You know, those are there's times to do things in different places. So I sit with Tanya on all the general travel. I also help her with the costings on those, and I give the final sign off on those
Awesome.
before she sends out quotes. And then logistics. So everybody's flights, all the guides' flights. I've now fortunately got Tammy in the office, who is helping me immensely, but I was doing all of that by myself. So everybody's dietary requirements
That's a lot
on every single trip. So I actually did a tally this year alone. We've got 210 guests already traveling with us outside of the Mara season.
Wow, that's a lot.
And the
That's
Mara
incredible.
season is now going to be running for 6 months and not for 9 weeks.
Yes.
Mara and the camp in the Mara, I do everything from setting the menus to making sure that there's wine in the camp, to making sure that we've got the right bed configurations, we've got the right people and the right everybody has to come together. So
Nice.
operations is a very loose term.
Yeah. It's a bit of everything.
It is a bit of everything, and I love it. It's never dull.
That's awesome. I think you touched on two things that I want to sort of delve in a little bit deeper. You mentioned like the costing. So a lot of people out there think that's a cool area, let's just book it and go.
Yeah.
And people see a lot of what we do on social media or on our website and think how difficult can it be? How much planning goes into, I mean, you can't just say, cool, let's go to Alaska, for example. You know, there's a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration, the flights, the planning, the duration. You know, people are not going to fly, and that's probably one of the things we're doing with our Africa trips. You know, people are not going to fly from the States to get here for 3 nights.
No.
But you also can't make it 2 weeks that it becomes sort of unaffordable.
I think there's a very fine line between where people will go for a trip, for a very long, long length or long time to go there, to go and see what it is. But also, safari is not a holiday.
Yeah.
You know, you're waking up very early in the morning.
Yeah.
You in the vehicle pretty much most of the morning. You get back to camp. You might have a few hours rest, and then you're back in the vehicle.
Exactly.
If you're a photographer on safari, it's even more daunting because you're constantly looking for that image. So you are constantly on the go.
Yeah.
And I think having traveled with you guys, I also understand the length of time that is ideal for one type of safari in one destination. So what we're trying to do now is make sure that there's longer safaris for our international guests, but there will be 2 destinations or 3 destinations.
The
so it
combos.
breaks it up. exactly. It'll break it up. It'll become a little bit more of the right amount of time in the right place for those days, but then in an extended time that you can then be able to fly out and be here. And then you can have a little bit of a holiday. So you can then go for 4 nights to Diani Beach if you're in Kenya, or you go down to Cape Town if you're in South Africa, or you end up in Victoria Falls for 3 nights just to chill and watch the falls and relax. Because those are the kind of things I think people are enjoying doing after a safari.
Exactly.
So those kind of things are definitely, the length of time is something we think about. But it's also, it's what I touched on earlier about the Victoria Falls in November. You've got to plan where you're going, specifically into places like India, Borneo, Pantanal, even Svalbard. You won't be going to Svalbard in December.
You can't just go anytime.
No,
exactly.
You can't do that. So you've got to plan when is the right time for your guests to be there, to be able to maximize their sightings in that place. And I think that's important even on a general travel side of things.
Exactly.
You know, people say, oh, we want to go to Zanzibar after we've been in Kenya. But you'll be in Kenya in August and Zanzibar's having a torrential monsoon. So it's really not a good plan.
No, sure.
Maybe go prior so that you're on the cusp, so that you pull your safari earlier than you're there in July. There's less rain in Zanzibar. And then you can go, you know, you just pull the whole trip forward. So there's a lot of planning that goes into it. So we don't just sell safaris, and we don't just sell
there's a lot of planning that goes into it.
There's a lot of, okay, but what ifs? Okay, that will work. No, that won't work. Okay, what if we do that? Let's add this thing in. Let's balloon safari. Let's do that. You know, how we're going to make it special. So we take a lot of time, but it's not something that just gets thrown together.
That's awesome. Brilliant. Then another thing that you touched on, we've got about, what's it now, maybe 3 or 4 months before our Masai Mara safari starts. So it's, I won't say it's quiet, but there's a few trips here and there. But you know, once June, July comes, it's absolute chaos. And you mentioned the wines. For those of you that don't know, Lara is quite a foodie as well. So a lot of the great food that we had in the Mara this year, and we'll definitely have it again this year and in the future to come, has been Lara's hard work with Pascal getting out chef books and things like that. How much planning, how do you prepare yourself now, because I mean the planning has started, to make sure all of those things are ready by June or July?
So I had a very big giggle when you said to me, oh no, it's the quiet time at the moment. So it's quiet for the guys, because it's not safari season at the moment. And we have got a few trips happening, but this is my busiest period. So I, you know, we've taken on quite a big task this year, because we're not just 9 weeks on safari over the Great Migration with 12 guests every week. That was hectic.
As it is.
Now we've got the Mara experience prior to that and after that. So we will be in the Mara from the 1st of June setting up, and we will break down the camp at the end of November. So we are literally in the Mara for a full 6 months. And that takes time, but it also takes a lot of, I suppose, logistics on how are we going to do this at the right time to get it in by the time the guests arrive. So there is a lot of things that we take from the past and we say, all right, how did it work last year, and let's start earlier, or it worked perfectly fine, we're just going with it. We know how it works. That you know, menus, for instance, we've played around with menus for 2 years. The menu is looking really good. You know, we can serve vegans, vegetarians, halal. We make sure that we cover everybody's dietary requirements or non-dietary requirements, their drinks preferences. So there's a lot of planning on those weeks, but there's also a lot of understanding that what we did well previously, we have to work on. And you know, use that as a foundation. So yes, it's quiet, but it's not quiet. So at the moment, it's I've ordered the caps already. We've ordered the amenities, all of the soaps and the sun creams and the hair shampoo and the body washes and all of that for the tents. What else have I got to do? I've got a long list at the moment, and Jono is very involved in that. You know, our managing director, and he it's his baby, but at the same time he's very much he's very aware that this has become a little bit of my baby too.
Yes.
So we've got a lot of okay, I'm going to do it, and he'll trust me to do it now.
That's
because
awesome.
I've been through it a lot.
Yeah.
The funny thing is when I was employed by Wild Eye, I was employed for 11 hours a week to help with invoicing.
How it's changed.
And how it's changed. And 3 years later, I can't explain how excited I am about being at work or coming to work.
That's awesome.
Mondays are never dull. I like that. For me, it's I'm going back to the office. What's going to happen? Yeah. People think I'm totally nuts, but it's not. It's different every single day, and there's never. Specifically around the planning of the Mara, there's never a feeling for me that this is so much work. Yeah. This is so exciting. I'm creating experiences for people that most people, it's their dream.
It's a once in a lifetime bucket list.
Exactly. Yeah. Even the people that come back again year after year, the Andys, the Marthas, the Nancys. Yeah. You know, for me, how am I going to make it better for them this year? So even if it's the first time or if it's their third or fourth time into the Mara, it's important that I get that right. Yeah. So it's got to be nice. The wine's got to look good this year.
Absolutely.
It's got to be there on time. We've got to have good wine to be, to enjoy around that campfire, and enough of it. Exactly. We only ship once up from South Africa, so we do have to make sure there is enough this year. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So Lara, final question. I mean, between all of this chaos, you're a mom of 2 beautiful kids and things. What do you do what's your sort of breakaway to sort of clear your mind and get away from the bit of chaos, the 1 or 2 hours that you have a day?
My husband would say that I spend a lot of time on Instagram, which I do. I enjoy looking at people's
Go follow her, by the way.
Other people's pictures. I get inspiration from other people's pictures. I'm not a photographer by any means. I try very, very hard. But for me to understand what photographers need and do, I've been bitten by the bug. So I enjoy taking photographs of animals. And we do try and get to the bush as often as possible as a family. Yeah. I love to bake with Abigail. That's our thing. We do baking most Sundays. That relaxes me. Cooking in the evening, cooking dinner. Nice. I try and make something different in the evening. Yeah. I don't try and just put something together. Yes, bag boiled was last night because of the weather, but I threw in spinach and carrots and corn, and the kids were like, "Mom, we've never had corn before." I'm like, "Yeah, you did a few years ago," but I add extra little bits, and I think that lets me relax. I enjoy that. I do enjoy a good book. I never get past as a mom, a chapter, and then I have to go back and read the chapter. And believe it or not, I actually I do enjoy sewing. I don't get to do it a lot at all, but it's also something that you've got to concentrate on what you're doing. Yeah. So nothing else can then enter your brain. I think that helps you relax. So it's a lot of the things I do. You have to be focused on when you're doing it, and that
when the kids are sleeping.
Most of the time, yes. But that allows me to then break away from everything else. The bush is important to our family, so we go as much as we can. Awesome. And that being in the bush is really my best place to relax.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, Lara, thank you so much. We really do appreciate all of your hard work and with all the ladies in the office. And if you guys would like to get in touch with any of our safaris, or as Lara mentioned, like a custom design safari for you and your family, get in touch with her. I'll leave an email after this video, and we look forward to hearing from you guys. Lara, thank you so much.
Thanks, Gerry.
All right,
thank
cheers.
you.
Yes, as you guys can see, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And to be honest, without the ladies' help in the office, we won't be able to run the safaris that we do. So thank you so much, ladies. Your work really is much appreciated. Next up, we catch an update in the field from Gerry, who's currently hosting a private guided safari in the Masai Mara and the Sabi Sands. So the private guiding is another offer that we offer to all of our clients, where you can have a wild eye guide at your disposal for the duration of your stay, and it's also a custom designed safari according to your photographic needs. So let's see what Gerry has to say about his safari.
Hey everybody, my name is Gerry, I'm from Wild Eye, and this is the Masai Mara. It's the Mara Triangle. The Mara River is behind me over here, and I've just completed a private guided trip here. I'm now heading to Johannesburg tonight with my client. Tomorrow morning, I am heading then to the Sabi Sands where we finish this whole trip. The brief was big cats. It is, you're going to go a long way to find better big cat, African big cat sightings than in these combinations of the Masai Mara and the Sabi Sands. So we had Scar, the famous leopard from the Mara. We had probably a total of another, I'm guessing about 30, 40 lions over the 3 days we were here. And now Sabi Sands, obviously, for the leopards. A couple of things, though, from my stay in the Mara now. It is off-season. It's very rainy, as you can see. There's a lot of clouds around, a lot of mud, a lot of water. But it has been absolutely spectacular for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you have a sighting, you have it all to yourself. And the sightings are still here. The Great Migration is just not here. Everything else is. You have it to yourself as long as you want, and there is very little vehicle traffic around. This morning, literally now before we came back, we went out and we saw a whole bunch of stuff, but we saw one vehicle. In the whole drive, we saw one vehicle. So yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head around everything that's happened. It's been such incredible sightings and photography specifically, everything from baby cheetahs, loads of lions, like I said, elephant, buffalo, all the general game. Funny enough, not one zebra, not one wildebeest. So they're all Serengeti there somewhere. As a destination off-season, which is this is for the Mara, do not dismiss this place. It is ridiculous. The lodges and stuff. So I'm at the Serena Lodge back here now. Some of the rooms down there. But as an off-season destination, absolutely amazing. And the cool thing is from next year, it looks like there might be a drop in park fees. Unofficial yet. Unofficial, you heard it here first. But from next year. So it might make it even more attractive to come and to do a private guided trip with myself or one of the guys here. It is amazing. The cool thing is, because we have infrastructure here, one of my guys, one of the Wild Eye guys, one of our vehicles, you can stay out as long as you want in this amazing place. So anyway, from now, we're going to have quick lunch, off to the airstrip to Wilson Airport. We drive from Wilson Airport to Jomo Kenyatta. We have dinner there. We get on a plane to Johannesburg. Joni, my client, sleeps over in the hotel. I go home quickly, refresh. 3 hours later, I wake up. I drive back off to the Sabi Sands. We go. And I will give you guys a bit of an update from there as well. Mara, off-season. Have a good look at it. It is amazing. Anyway, I'll chat to you guys in the next episode. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild. It's not an episode, sorry. You see, I'm going to autopilot on the podcast. Let me try that again. I'll talk to you guys in the next segment of this trip for the diaries. Hey guys, so as a follow-on from my previous update from the Mara, we're in the Sabi Sands, spend one night in Johannesburg very quickly, like 2 hours of sleep, and off we go back to the sands. And it's always a fact of, you finish up in the Mara and you think, how can whatever we're going to see compare? Because you do that in your mind. You compare, right? Holy shit. It has been unbelievable. So the first drive out, one of the only briefs, not the brief, the kind of wish list shot that Joni had was a leopard namarula tree. Within the first 10 minutes, as luck would have it, that happens. But then I had one of the most incredible sightings, not just with Wild Eye, that I've ever had working in the bush. It's been insane. Long story short, we heard there's lions, a pride of, we think 9 or 11. It's been so chaotic, we don't even know. And we follow these things to a waterhole where there's buffalo. And then, basically, in my mind, Nat Geo happened, right? I mean, not even close. So, the lions go in, the lions attack the buffalo, they get hold of a baby. The buffalo fight back, forward and back, forward and back. This goes on. The lions end up with the baby buffalo in the waterhole. The buffalo still try and get to them. The lions start feeding in the waterhole. Some of them are not in the waterhole yet, so the buffalo keeps on running after them. This whole thing took about an hour. And I mean, literally myself, Terry, who's our local guide here, and Joni, we got back. We had a tequila immediately because it was like, holy shit, what just happened? But then at dinner time, you feel yourself coming down, and we spoke about the immersive nature of wildlife and of being in the bush. And watching a leopard up a tree, it's peaceful, it's calm. This was like mayhem, but it was incredible. It is truly, 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 I mean, still now trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. I sat with Joni this morning looking at some of her images, and it's the first time, and I said this to her, so I'm happy to share it with you guys. it's the first time in a very, very long time that I actually, because I shot a lot of video. The reason is, I mean, I've been working on Journey with her photography, and what she's done in the last week alone is just ridiculously amazing. Go and follow her. I'll put a tag here. Go and check her Instagram out. I shot mostly video because I can then focus on her. It's difficult shooting. It's low light. You're in manual. You're shooting for a spotlight and so on and so forth. And it's the first time. I said this to her over breakfast this morning when we were looking at some of the images. I said, it's the first time in a very long time that I was actually jealous of a guest's images. I know of people, I know there's other people running trips in the Sabi Sands right now from other companies, and it's all about them. It's all about their point of view, their point of view. And in the back of my mind, and I had this chat with Journey, like I said, I thought, holy shit, if I could get these shots, it's amazing, but it passed. And it was the first time, looking at her images this morning, I felt that like, Jesus, I wish I could get that. However, looking up then into her, the idea that I was responsible and played a little part in her getting those shots and seeing how proud she is and how happy she is and how psyched up she is for the images, that's why I do what I do. I've got the videos, and you know what, guys, we keep on saying this. You might think it's marketing bullshit, whatever. Honest to God, the way I felt this morning when I looked at the image, like, oh shit, I could get it. But the flip side is, and that's way more valuable, is knowing that I could do that for someone. So that to me was just, wow, it was absolutely insane. We've got another 3 nights, so 4 days left here. And so this update will stop here. I'll try and share more of the video of the sightings in the next episode. I think Marlon's hosting. But wow, it has been insane. Last night was absolutely amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out of this discussion, especially with the sighting we had, and then how do you follow that up? What do you do the next morning? So this morning we spent time, for those of you that know, Mashabeni is one of the big male leopards here in the Sabi Sands, and it was 2.5 hours of basically sitting waiting for him to wake up. But a sighting like what we had last night, which is truly once in a lifetime, even for myself, is it puts it into context, and you understand you can't expect that, so just enjoy what you see. It's been amazing. So anyway, I'm going to share more of that on the podcast, on the blog, and in the next episode of the diaries. It's been insane. So if you've been following along, thank you so much on Instagram. Otherwise, yeah, if you have any questions, give me a shout. But I am going to share more, just the thought process behind kind of everything. I don't know, it's just a bit overwhelming. It's been amazing. Thanks for watching the diaries, guys. I'm going to give you back to Johan, and I will chat to you guys in the next episode on the podcast. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild Eye. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for that, Gerry. It looks like you and Journey had an unbelievable experience. That sighting with the lions and the buffalo really is something. If you guys would like to get involved with any of the private guided experience, please get in touch with any of the Wild Eye guides and we'll make it happen for you. Talking about Wild Eye guides, let's catch up with all the guys and see what they got up to the last couple of weeks.
Hello everyone, hope that you are all well. So as opposed to giving you an update from the last 2 weeks, I'm going to give you a bit of an update from the last couple of months. So a couple of days ago I met with Jono and Marlon to discuss my 3-month probation period with Wild Eye, and I'm pleased to announce that I am here to stay. It's been an incredible couple of months. Hasn't always been easy. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles, but part of the reason why I wanted to join Wild Eye and be a part of the team was to better myself, be the best version of myself, and also help the company grow. And it has been an incredible experience so far. Lots of new and exciting things for me to learn, and I've really enjoyed the challenge. So I'm glad and I'm thankful for the last couple of months, and I'm really looking forward to many years to come. Have a good one. Cheers.
Hey guys, so it's a public holiday here in South Africa today. We're out doing a bit of shopping. Gabriel, did you say hello? Say hi. Hi. And yeah, it's been nice to be back in the office after a bit of break in Cape Town last week with the family. Hard at work putting together some details around our general travel division, where we're going to be helping build a number of scheduled or kind of structured itineraries as well as bespoke itineraries. So yeah, been a good week in the office and looking forward to the weekend. And as you can see, this little guy keeps me very busy. Say bye, Gabriel. Bye-bye. Hello everyone from a cold, wet and somewhat windy Johannesburg, and as you can see, dressed to the occasion. But I'm not complaining about this at all. By far my most preferred weather conditions, and very excited that our winter months are approaching us. And another thing that's been quite exciting in the last couple of days here in the office is that I've been working on an 11-night itinerary, a private guided safari into Wangi National Park and South Luangwa. Also, a few other projects I've started with is the hashtag Find My Camera on Instagram, the Follow Fridays on Instagram, and also I did my very first behind the frame episode. It's episode 6, where I discuss the developing process behind a particular elephant image I took in the Amboseli. So a lot of good stuff has been happening, and yeah, keep rolling. For now, have a good one, stay happy, stay safe, catch you later.
Hi everybody, I hope you've been enjoying episode 6 of the Wild Eye Diaries. It's pretty much been business as usual in the offices over the last couple of weeks. What I think a lot of people don't understand, or at least appreciate, is the amount of work that goes in the back office to prepare for our safaris and to catch up on emails, writing blogs, sharing content. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. So in order to prepare for the wonderful and exciting safaris that we have coming up, there's a lot of work that needs to happen in the background. So the last 2 weeks has been head down for most of the guys in the office, preparing all the content, and I'm actually preparing for a private safari that I'll be hosting in the Southern Kruger in about 3 weeks' time, which I'm really looking forward to. So hope you've enjoyed the rest of the episode, and once again, thanks for engaging and keep following us all. Awesome.
Hey everybody, so I'm getting ready for a little weekend away with my family, just taking them down to the Lowveld. Spartan, hello Mavu. That's Spartan. Unfortunately, they cannot come with, but it's just a little bit of a weekend family getaway. We spend a lot of time on the road, and you need to do these kind of things just to escape a little bit and to spend some quality time with those that you love. And I haven't seen my family in quite a long time, so it's going to be nice to be down in Palabora, which is adjacent to the Kruger National Park. So we're going to a little bush camp, and it's right next door to the park itself. In fact, only separated by the Olifants River. Olifants is Afrikaans for elephant, Elephants River. So sure we'll be seeing a little bit of that. But yeah, I'm sure you're going to enjoy the diaries. Johan and I just got back from the Serengeti a week ago, so there's a bit of info and updates from that. And I'm sure you're going to love the guest feedback. They were very excited, some very emotional, but it just pays testament to how special it is. Leia! There's Leia, a little chocolate lab. Cool guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Hey, good morning everybody. So I'm at Sabi Bush Lodge. We've just finished breakfast back there. I'm still on safari. As you saw on the previous insert, just a bit of an update. The weather has changed quite a bit, yet we still keep going out. It's an amazing experience. So I haven't been busy with anything else other than running safari. It's been great. Mara's been great. Sabi's been amazing. We've had some just ridiculously awesome sightings. Not sure what else to really give you apart from the previous insert as well. Lots of thoughts coming up on this one, kind of the way people think about photography, the way people listen when they get taught about photography. Approaches, we've been speaking a lot about social media on this trip, how people approach it, why they use it. I think the why is almost important, more important than kind of the how. But yeah, it's been an amazing couple of weeks. For me, I am back, what is today? Today is Thursday. Saturday I'm back to Joburg. Sunday I'm going to go offline and just veg completely. Then I'm in the office for 3 or 4 days. We've got a first aid course with the guys, and then long weekend, and then next Monday after that I'm off to Mala. So my next update will probably come from there. Yeah, just for those of you following on Instagram and Snapchat, I'm back on Snapchat in a big way. Loving the engagement there. Good stuff happening. Go check it out. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for following. Thanks for watching the Wild Eye Diaries, guys. We are having a shitload of fun with it. It is really cool. And if you have questions, you know what to do. Get hold of us. That's it. I'm going to do some live stream with my client now with some cappuccino, and I'll chat to you guys soon. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild Eye. Bye-bye.
Alright guys, so there you have it. That's it for episode 6 of the Wild Eye Diaries. I thoroughly enjoyed sharing it with you guys and look forward to many more. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a shout. Until next time, cheers.